Hello viewers, Gran Turismo has just revived a circuit we have never seen in sport mode before. Tokyo South counterclockwise makes its first appearance with a 1000% reward increase. Now when I saw this track pop up, I knew it would produce some pretty good racing, but also some moments like this where you end up facing the wall the wrong way. Now firstly, thank you so much for the support recently on the channel, and the videos have been doing very well. And we are very fast approaching 1 million subscribers, which is just an incredible milestone to even think about. So thank you. Let's take a look at the track. South counterclockwise, characterized by fast flowing corners and very long straights, with also some interesting set pieces thrown into the mix, with a long 270-degree corner and a very sharp hairpin after a long straight. No doubt this combination, along with the walls as well of course, is no doubt going to produce its fair share of carnage, drama, contentiousness, if that's a word, which it isn't. Now, slipstream, super important. I've got to touch upon that first thing here, because of the long straights, you just need the slipstream. If you're out of it, you're losing time for days. Into the hairpin. Let's just take a look as we receive our first delivery of a massive dive bomb and get sent wide. A couple of positions lost. Very unfortunate, and well, I mean, that slipstream I was hoping to have is more than gone now. Heading in, lap number 3, and we've got a couple of spinners. This is just the nature of this race, it seems. With the slipstream being the way it is in Gran Turismo in 2025, as we head on to the final lap, it just makes people form into groups, into clusters, which are quite difficult to get yourself out of. And naturally, that's always going to produce some carnage into the corners. As you can see here, a couple of cars going wide. Can we nip up the inside? This is that very long corner. Not quite 270 degrees, I did lie to you. A little bit less, but still, nonetheless, a long corner. Into the hairpin, lap number 4, always going to be a point of contention when there's a lot of cars about. We got the inside. It's actually quite a tidy move, if I may say so myself, which I can, because this is my video, I guess, so I can just say that. Heading up towards the final sequence of corners, unfortunately, it's about to end pretty badly for me. Coming through here, get overtaken once, and then there's a bit of contact, and unfortunately this is the moment, boom, into the wall, and we are sent spinning into oblivion. We go from 5th, dropping down countless positions, and finalising the race there in dead last. I could only hope for better in race number 2. Starting 8th, moving up to 7th, and as we mentioned, just look how close this is. I am barely a second and a half off the lead, and the entire group is just in front of me there. With a group like that, you just know something's going to go down. Something's happening. Something is brewing in the air. And that prophecy came true into the hairpin, lap number 2. As we round the hairpin, got a little bit unlucky here. The Czech driver there just gets pinched on the exit, collides with his countryman, and I'm into the back of them. Losing crucial momentum, the top 3 drive away in a harrowing sight, as I lose 1, 2, and then 3 positions. After gaining 2, that's a net loss of 1, for those of you who are fans of subtraction. Go back up the inside of Mario Sonic, completely misjudging the slipstream. Horrific mistake to make. As we drop down the position again, the Lexus there, running wide into the wall. We'll touch upon the Lexus later on, because that is a strong contender against the Supra, which you may well have noticed is the dominant car here. Given the long straights, the Supra is often the king of straight line speed in Group 3, and it's very difficult to beat it, but there are possibilities. Heading in towards the hairpin, lap number 4, always going to create some sort of drama, and it's a good move here, I think. A good late attempt up the inside from Mario Sonic, side-by-side racing on the exit. Who is going to emerge victorious here as we head up the hill side by side? It's not going to be easy to pull off this move around the outside, but it is definitely possible. I've just crept ahead he's going to give me the space. And then there's one final, I would say actually no, two final overtaking opportunities into this final left-hander. But then also on the exit as well, if you can time a better run, as it's quite a long run to the straight, and it's going to be quite close as you can tell. But we are going to just about keep 5th place in this one. Very, very close indeed. Good battle with him. We move on. The toe, once again, starting towards 8th, and we'll touch upon my fastest qualifying lap later on because that is going to be super important. The annoying thing here is just trying to keep in the slipstream of the top guys, and as soon as you start battling like we have done here on lap 1, you just instantly lose the toe, and it's going to be very difficult therefore to catch back up with the top group, especially if they're working together, bump drafting each other. They are just going to pull away, so you have to be smart about it, and ideally you have to be good in qualifying. You don't want to be starting 8th. You're just putting too much trust in others to keep the slipstream, and that's not always going to happen. But then here, on the final lap of 4, quite a short race, heading in towards the hairpin, I had a sense that things could go badly here, and they did. With some contact into the turn, we are sent spiralling into the wall, and I could only laugh at how silly that was. Oh my god. Straight down to last. RIP in peace, guys. I think I turned slightly left. You can be the judge of what happened here. I think I turned left slightly. I think this guy also turned right slightly. Just a meeting in the middle, and it's just a standard awkward moment when you've got so many cars close together into a tight hairpin. Recipe for carnage. Now this clip here, this was the complete opposite. This was in the Lexus actually, going from 10th, and well, you'll see, it's a meteoric rise, the likes of which the world has never seen in the past. That's 9th. That's the first overtake, quite an easy one because he just made a mistake, and you've got to really get a good exit out of these corners, as there's a massive dive bomb there. Another one on me. That guy goes wide. We gain a couple of positions. I'm somehow now in 6th place as we head through the exit of the awkward corner. We have a very solid chance here of getting into 4th. Gonna have to play it patient here. This right hand, I'd say, absolutely crucial to your lap time, as they both really make a mockery of it. I'm going to move therefore up into 4th. Once again, I mean, just take a look at the radar through the next couple of seconds. This is closer to Ace Combat than Gran Turismo, as we're really under threat from seemingly a lot of missiles behind. Actually, somehow we keep it clean. All 85 of us there. Incredible scenes. So now in 4th, I need to have a really good sector here. The Lexus is actually very strong in this final sequence of corners on the lap. I would say better than the Supra. And therefore we need to capitalise, open up a gap so that we're not going to get slipstream overtaken on the next couple of straights. That's a good sequence of corners there, opening up the gap slightly. And Method Man there in 3rd, just dropping down a couple of tenths, which gives us a faint whiff of slipstream, and subsequently a faint chance of getting 3rd. Let's see if we can do it. Cars behind battling, losing crucial time at a crucial time. And we get into this toe. This next corner is going to be absolutely crucial, as it leads onto the longest straight line section, which isn't straight. None of it is straight, but flat out is what I mean. So here we go. He's got a poor exit. I've got a good one. We are very much reeling him in. The Supra is quicker, but with the toe, the endless possibilities are presenting themselves. Looking up the inside, we're still going to try and hit our braking point, and we both sail very wide. We're both going to have to square off the corner, and he keeps the momentum around the outside. I couldn't believe that I didn't manage to get that overtake done, given how wide he went. But we still have, as I said, the 2 overtaking opportunities, and this is going to be a good example of showing your hand to make him think you're going for the first one, but really snatching the second. As we look up the inside to get him to go narrow, forcing him into a poor exit, and just dive into the gap. He was going to cover the left-hand side. Absolutely ruined him there on the final corner, snatching 3rd place. Get in there, Lewis. Get in there, Lewis, indeed. Look at this again. forcing him narrow, and then he's going to have a really compromised exit. And this decision here, I was thinking normally you'd go left. I just had the sense that he was going to cover that side. We dive into the gap and move on to the next race in the beautiful Bilstein livery and the Lexus. What's going to happen here? Well, this one is not going to be quite successful. This was a true characterization of what this race was like for me, because for the most part it was very close racing, but also lots of contacts, lots of contentious moments. So it wasn't always easy, especially when you're starting in this mid-pack. Someone's off. I will, as I say, go over my best qualifying lap. Look at this. 3 overtakes past the cursed BMW Supra there. And we move back to 8th. So someone's going up a lot of positions, going down a lot of positions.
Oh my god.
And I must say, I really do enjoy this track. I'm surprised it hasn't come up before. This is genuinely the first time ever in sport mode that it has appeared as a daily race.
Through there side by side.
Which is mad because the game is over 3 years old and they've chosen Deep Forest 5 billion times. And trust me, I've counted. So I don't know why this didn't come up before. It's a great track. I think it does produce some good racing. And for some reason, Gran Turismo just insist on having no creativity. But look at that creativity. Beautiful switcheroo. Crofty going absolutely ballistic as ever in the commentary box. Down the insides. We're making moves now, guys. We are making the moves, getting really comfortable with the Lexus, hoping they offer me a factory contract in real life, which is obviously going to happen. That's how drivers are found. They are found in 5th place in sport mode lobbies on GT7. Anyway, crossing the line, it was a P5, it was a good fight back. We are going to jump back to the Supra to try and improve my qualifying. That's been a key weakness so far. Having to start in 8th or 10th or whatever is never what you want. Starting first is better. So we're going to try and improve this qualifying lap. Now, we've touched upon what makes a good lap around here so far, but really it's about getting really good exits from the fast sweeping corners onto the straights. But yeah, you've got to be super brave on the throttle a lot of the time. You see here, setting some good, consistent times, but none of them were beating my personal record. So a lot of 55.8s, 55.9, low 56s. So good consistency, which always helps, but none of those laps were good enough to improve. I continue here, and this session I just completely forgot how to drive, and this is just a symptom sometimes of trying to do too many laps in too quick succession. So it did take me a while, I'd say about 40 minutes. But let's take a look at my best lap. This is it. Heading into turn 1, maybe a bit too much rotation there, but just it's about keeping the speed up, trying to get off that brake if you can a bit earlier than normal. Braking about 125 meters before this one, rolling off the brake, carrying the speed through. Really awkward sequence this. You can really abuse the track limits here. Just keep 2 wheels on the red and white and you're okay. You can carry a lot of speed when you do that. Then this one, looking for the white markings on the left on the road, which are there. Come off the brake, let the car roll in, a lot of camber, back on the power. And that's probably the most important corner to get right, because this straight goes on for about 20 or so seconds, and therefore you can surrender a lot of time to get it wrong. Heading towards the hairpin, looking for the 150 board and the 100 board. Braking somewhere between them. I know that's not very helpful. Late apex to get on the power, and then use the extra tarmac to the left of the line as well to get a straighter exit. And then it's this final sequence, fast flowing corners, and I found that just turning in whilst partially on the throttle does help. If you lift off just before you turn, it doesn't really help the car. So just getting some nice downforce through there, and then just commit early to this one, off the power, let it roll slightly, back on the power as close as you dare to the wall. And that's the difficult thing about this track. Really trying to string together a lap is difficult. A lot of corners don't have any runoff, you just got to be brave. It's a 55.4, and as you can see, the relief, as I just couldn't quite string it together until that point. 107th in the world with that lap. Pretty happy with it. I think there's a few more tenths in it. But it was 1:10 in the morning by this point. I had secured myself a pole position. And so here was a good chance to try to put together a good race and finally get a podium and a win. Well, actually, no, I did get a podium. Try to get a win. Now, the difficulty here is being at the front, there's no slipstream, and the cars behind are Supras, which are OP, and therefore this is going to be difficult. The Lexus certainly, there's no question about it, has good lap time here, but in a race you do need straight line speed, otherwise you're always going to be on the back foot. Just look how quickly that car gains on me with its straight line advantage and slipstream. It's going to be incredibly difficult to keep him behind. And point proven, losing the position pretty much immediately there into the hairpin, lap number 1. That's okay. Can we try and retake the position instantly and just really try to secure this position at the front? I just really need him to make a mistake, get a penalty, something like that, get some clear air between the two of us. That would be ideal. However, he wouldn't oblige, which was really frustrating and quite selfish of him, really, to not make a mistake. In fact, he went for the jugular, went for the overtake into turn 1, a bit of contact there through the apex, and now I'm on the back foot. So he's kind of shifted the race in his favour, as you're kind of meant to do, so respect. And he's just had a really good exit, and this is a crucial moment here. This corner needs to be good. Otherwise I'm going to lose the toe and I'll be very vulnerable to the car behind. I've just about kept the toe, but it's not really that good of a toe. I think you need to be within sort of 3/10, I'd say, to really get a good one. And it's deja vu, losing a position, trying to regain it back. Can we do it? Kind of. No, not quite. Bit of contact. It's awkward, and there you get a penalty. Dipping 2 wheels beyond the line, or more than 2 wheels beyond the line. 0.5. Race over pretty much, given how close the pack is behind. But not that it mattered, because there's an awkward bit of contact. Weird moment with the cars behind. I end up facing this same office block again, and frustrated, I finished 10th and decided that would be enough for today. We're going to dip out and come back fresh in the morning. Okay, hopefully a good night's sleep is all I needed in order to secure a good result. Let's see. Now, because it was a new day and it wasn't 1 AM in the morning, I think we had a fresh batch of fast players logging on for their morning attempt at winning a race. Now, the top 2 guys there, very fast, in Supras, and unfortunately, I just lost a toe. This is just the story of this race. Losing the toe against a Supra, you're probably wondering, why don't you just use the Supra? Good question, really, isn't it? I just wanted to use something different. I wanted to try and not use that car. I did use it at the beginning of the video. But just wanted to try and see if I could do it in a slightly less fast car. But yeah, losing the toe is just absolutely paramount here. Oh, the opposite of paramount. You don't want to do that. And so we just kind of slowly watched these 2 guys disappear into the distance. I felt like my pace was good. If I just stayed within 4/10 of them both, I would just kind of stayed with them. But as soon as you lose that toe, it's very hard to gain it back, especially like that. You see the smoke between them. They are pushing each other up the straight. I mean, it was just smart driving from the German there in second. There's no need to fight too heavily when you're just 2 away at the front. You might as well just bump draft and then battle at the end, just to minimise the chance of the cars behind catching. So it was just smart driving. They did battle a little bit. As you can see, I did catch up slightly. But now, having to defend from the Irishman behind into the hairpin, this is going to be the ultimate park it on the apex. Just really slowing it down, completely preventing the old switcheroo. And yeah, sometimes you just got to do it. We finished in 3rd. It's an okay result, but I'm left pondering what might have been if I had stayed in the slipstream at the beginning of the race. Now this one annoyed me, because coming through here, this is the opening corner of the race. Guy makes a mistake, hits the ball on the inside, and then gets really nice momentum on the exit. And it's so frustrating when things like that happen, because now I'm on the back foot. I get dive bombed, I lose another 10th, maybe 2 tenths, and then I can't quite get the angle for the exit here. And so just a calamity of errors or unfortunate circumstances. Again, I lose the toe. Finish 3rd. So I decide, you know what, it is time to whip out the resident American, Mr. Scott Speed. What can we do here? Well, the answer is get wiped out. I was making some steady progress here through the pack. This Mexican guy behind thought otherwise. He felt like, you know what, you need to see that wall over there. So we're going to go again. This is the final race of the video. Can we end it on a high? Even though there has been a lot of crashing and penalties and stuff and losing the toe, I would say that I have very much enjoyed this race this week. It's a good track, I think. Good to see it, and good to see Polyphony engaging in this thing called creativity when they're not busy choosing Group 3 Deep Forest for the, was it 5 billionth time I said? Yeah, 5 billionth. So we're going to try and gain some positions here. Can we do it up against Bruno Alves GT? It's going to be not enough straight line speed here for the Lexus. We're going to wait. This guy not quite able to drive the straight section straight, then turning across me there. He wants it inside. Now Dude Bro is going to almost smash into the back of the Ferrari there. A couple of cars spinning. I mean, I don't even know what even happened there. I somehow find myself in 6th after all of that. Now this guy, Hello's kick ass. Well, I'm going to murder him. And I'm so sorry to this guy. I just carried far too much speed, and boom, that's the moment. We killed a good man. He was one of the good guys, and we have eliminated him from existence. So we're going to continue this race, but I mean, I'm very sorry to him for ending it that way. He didn't have to go like that. He deserved better. But we're going to continue here up against the Ferrari. All I can do is try and get on the podium in his honour, as he deserved more than what he got. As we exit in 4th, a 1.6 second gap, now 1.2. We're just going to try and reel that gap in. Once I'm within a second or even less than that, we're going to get the beginnings of the whiffs of slipstream, as the famous saying goes. On the exit there, oh, right up against the wall, 1 millimetre away, I could see 1 pixel, I would say that was, based on my experience. On the exit here, this is it, guys. 4 tenths behind by the end of the straight, less than 2. Is the dive bomb on? I mean, it is on. It's always on. Dive bomb is always on. Doesn't mean you should do it. There's a process you have to go through in your head. You could always send it, but is it the right thing to do? Most of the time, no. Then hold off for the time being. We have an extra lap to do. Now this was an unusual move. Just carrying extra speed there, just going for the inside. And to be fair to this guy, he kind of recognised it, gave the space, and facilitated the move. I think it was a good move, and it was one of those that required 2 people to cooperate, so fair play to him. He made a mistake there, as you can see on the radar, and just dropped off. And that kind of secured me a solid 3rd position. But I hope you enjoyed this one, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please do help me get to 1 million subscribers. I'll catch you next time. Goodbye.